7:20 on Friday, February 6th, 2009. Welcome to Good Morning Westchester on 1460 WVOX and WVOX.com. 15 degrees now. It keeps going up like every 20 minutes about a degree. We may reach 31 today. Wow. But cold. It will be sunny. It's not too sunny right now. It's a little overcast, but we will have sun later today. In the studio with us now, and this is his first visit as a candidate. I mean, he's been on, he's told us he wanted to run for district attorney before, but he is the official candidate. He has a headquarters. He is, the genuine article now. Please welcome to Good Morning Westchester. He will be with us right through the election every Friday. He can move around once in a while if he likes. We've also extended the invitation to Janet DeFiore, but this is the Republican challenger for district attorney. His name is Dan Schorr. Good morning, Counselor.
Good morning, Bob. Good to see you again.
Well, it's good to see you, and welcome in now your official coronated role as a candidate. How does it feel ultimately to say, oh my goodness, because you're still a young guy with a great background, I think, but you look ahead and you say, I am the official candidate for the Republican Party. How do you feel about that?
Well, actually, technically, next month in March, there'll be a convention where I expect to be nominated, but we do have a campaign headquarters in White Plains, and there's no opposition on the Republican side, so I will be the Republican candidate.
Well, it reminds me of a line from the great play Becket by Jean Inouye when the king says to a priest, but you have his uniform and you wear his uniform and you have his ear. You're there. Tell people a little bit, because it's been a while since you've been on, a little bit about your background as a prosecutor, where I know you specialized in family law, and also as a teacher of jurisprudence, if you will, of the law over in China for a while. Tell us about that.
Well, I started as assistant DA about 10 years ago, and I specialized in the prosecution of domestic violence, child abuse, sex crimes, and homicide investigations. And I've worked on cases with every department around this county. And through the State Department has a Bureau of Human Rights, Democracy, and Welfare, and they sponsored a program in China, and I was fortunate to teach through that program, where we interacted with Chinese judges and lawyers, teaching them about due process, American legal ideas. They have a very closed system. They don't have the rights that we do here, and myself and other teachers tried to teach them about the openness we have here, and hopefully we could bring about some kind of change in China over the next few years.
How long were you there?
I was there a year.
You were there a year. Where'd you go to school? So people get to know.
I went to the University of Pennsylvania undergrad and Harvard Law School.
He's all right. He's smart, I guess. Harvard Law School, huh? 7:23, we're talking with the Republican candidate for district attorney here in Westchester, Dan Schorr. Dan, where do you live?
I live in White Plains, right in downtown White Plains, which is a great place to live these days. There's so much going on there, and it's an exciting time.
Yeah, it is. I actually, downtown White Plains has an honest-to-goodness buzz to it.
It really does, and it didn't have that 10 years ago.
It did not. Well, kudos to Mayor Delfino and the other people there. 7:24. What about doing this? I ask this, it's always my first official campaign question. Why do you want to do this to yourself, go through a campaign, and why do you want to be district attorney?
The best and most important role of government is to keep people safe. And right now, not everything is being done to keep people safe in Westchester. And I'm running for district attorney for the same reason I became a prosecutor. I want to help crime victims. I want to put dangerous people behind bars, and I want to rebuild the relationship with the police department that's fractured right now. The DA's office and the local police departments are butting heads, and it's the fault of the DA's office at the top, and I want to change that.
Why do you say that? What is the breach?
There are a few issues. One of the most high-profile ones have been that the DA's office recently has been giving a lot of easy plea bargains to dangerous people, and one example is Detective Sergeant Benura in Pleasantville, who complained because he kept arresting the same person for burglary, and Janet DeFiore kept letting him plea out and get probation, and he was out on the street over and over again. And this detective complained about this, and he was suspended, and 6 months later he had to resign because he was going to be terminated.
The other day, yes.
And also, if I'm elected district attorney, he's the type of person that I want to hire into the detective investigator squad, because I worked with him on an attempted murder trial that I did. He's a great detective sergeant, worked for 27 years, and he spoke out because he cares about protecting the public, and he was rewarded by Janet DeFiore and others just putting the clamp down on him.
Now, let's play devil's advocate. Allow me to do that. Why would the Janet DiFiore do that? Is that a matter of policy? Is it a matter of your view of incompetence by her staff? Why does it happen? Is it the state doesn't have places to put them?
It's nothing to do with the state not having places to put people, because the Westchester DA's office wasn't run this way before she took over. I have a lot of friends in the DA's office, and what they tell me is that they're told they don't want to lose any case. They don't want a headline in the paper saying we lost a trial. So they won't try any case, and they'd rather give an easy plea bargain than take a case to trial that's not a really easy slam dunk. And in order to be a tough prosecutor, you need to be willing to risk possibly losing a case in order to put people away for a long time.
Or even, and I would suggest, letting someone go whom you don't have the goods on. I mean, as you know, we have a regular on this program because of what happened to him, Jeff Deskovic, who spent 16 years in prison.
Right, I've read a lot about him.
And that's, we can't, winning at all costs can't be, with all due respect to yourself and Ms. DiFiore, winning at all costs can't be the objective of a prosecutor. It just can't be.
Absolutely. And one of the best feelings I've had as a prosecutor over time was dismissing charges against people that I thought were wrongly arrested. An example of how that's not being done now is the Irma Marquez case in Yonkers, where there was a woman who was thrown down to the ground by a police officer, and Janet DiFiore prosecuted her for resisting arrest, and she was acquitted, and Janet DiFiore apologized. It's about management and competence and leadership and knowing who to prosecute and who not to prosecute.
Why do you think you can do this?
Because I've actually done it. I've tried a lot of cases. I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of crime victims all around the county, and I know what it takes to build a case, from going out to a homicide scene at 3 a.m. to writing search warrants, talking with witnesses, putting the case into the grand jury, and ultimately arguing to a trial jury. And that's experience that Janet DiFiore does not have, and that I'll bring that to the DA's office.
Now, what about the actual administration? How do you feel about managing the hundreds of people that will work for you?
It's a great opportunity, because there are new priorities that need to be set in the DA's office that, as the manager of the office, I want to bring. A big one is identity theft prosecution, a really important crime to focus on these days, because you hear about it more and more. And the DA's office right now doesn't even have an identity theft unit to coordinate identity theft prosecution around the county. And I'm going to change that.
Well, we've got to go today. We have a short leash today, but I must say, in the weeks ahead, we'll talk about some of the issues with Dan Schorr, and we'll find out what he intends to do if elected to the district attorney role in Westchester. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me on, Bob.
Take care. See you next week.
Bye.